Professor Dave can't understand perspective on a flat Earth, June 21st, 2024.
Okay, so explain the observations from antiquity that I told you. How are you getting the sky to rotate in opposite directions depending on where you're standing? Let's start with there. How observable is that? How does that fit?
Yeah, this is what always happens. Instead of providing evidence that the surface is curving, you're saying, well, but if it's not, then how does this happen?
No curved surface. You said the default position, flat plane. I'm asking you on your flat plane, explain the observations of the celestial sphere. In the north, you get counterclockwise rotation. In the south, you get clockwise rotation. Explain that to me on your default flat plane. Explain it.
Nah, you can't use our model to explain star rotation on a flat plane. This is our model, not yours. Look at this. There is a person at the center of the dome, but the four cardinal directions are out at the edge: north, south, east, west. In your model, the end goes to the center, and then it's only S's around the edge. Look, South Pole. What is this? Antarctica? The very first video that you have shows this. The N goes in the center, and the S's all the way around. You should know this by now, Dave. Then Polaris is 90 degrees overhead and the stars rotate around the dome horizontal to the ground. This right here is the most accurate depiction of your model I have ever seen. It is even done to scale. Earth diameter, 25,000 miles. Check. Sun and moon diameter, 32 miles. Check. Sun and moon altitude, 3,000 miles. Check. In a star dome 100 miles above the sun and moon, that way they don't bump into each other, right? But you can clearly see that the moon in some locations would change through all phases from a crescent to a full moon to a crescent in one night. And that if you were south of the tropics, that you would never be able to see a full moon. We have the Milky Way and the northern constellations, but unfortunately this model cannot represent any of the southern constellations and completely omits all of them. This is how the luminaries rotate in your model. They all rotate horizontal to Earth. What you are showing here is our model. If the four cardinal directions are depicted out at the edge of the circle, that is your circle of sight. Not a depiction of a 25,000 mile wide dome that is south everywhere. Models that are limited to a person's circle of sight are our models. Let me show you with our model what your model would look like. Here you go, Dave. Same tool that you were using. Notice that it has the four cardinal directions on a plane in a circle of sight, not inside of a complete dome. Let's add a couple of stars here and animate this. Now you can see that this is the graphic that David Weiss was using. In order for this to be his model, what he has to do is turn this up to 90 degrees and make this person the north and make everything else around it an S for south, right? Because the entire outside edge is all south and there's just one north point and everything else is south. Well, when you do that, you can clearly see that the stars have to be all rotating around the outside edge here. When you go up to the North Pole, you get to see how everything would have to work on Earth everywhere because this is the entire dome. Our model. This is our model. The one that shows a fixed circle of sight on a plane with the luminaries rising from and setting into Earth, which you're using right now here to show Professor Dave how it actually works. This is our model. Don't you know that we know how it works and that there's a reason why you're not using this model south of the equator? Let's show everybody why Professor Dave keeps on the clockwise, counterclockwise issue the Freemason New World Order pressurized pizza dome PSYOP has.
Yeah, so the counterclockwise and clockwise direction is super simple. It's based on looking different directions. Your better question is, why does it go around a singular point, is what you're trying to say.
No. I'm asking about the direction. I'm asking about the direction.
It just looking opposite directions would make them go the opposite directions. They all go east and west.
If you put a clock on your ceiling, which way can you face to make the hands go counterclockwise? Tell me which way.
It's not analogous. The stars.
No, it is. It is though, because the hands on a clock.
You don't get it.
Right?
You don't get it. The stars drop due to perspective, so we're actually looking.
This is complete gibberish. The stars are always equidistant from the observer. Look at our model you have on the screen. They are not coming towards you or going away from you as your model demands. You are correct that Polaris is at the center of your model, but this is clearly our model with the stars rising from and setting into Earth.
Looking out towards them, not directly up.
Which depends on your latitude, right? Depends on your latitude. If you're at the equator, they're going from horizon to horizon.
Wait, do you agree that if I was looking out and something was spinning one way and then I looked at it from the other direction, it'd look like it was spinning the opposite way?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Okay, that's why I said you just.
You only show our model in the north, and the South Pole is below the horizon. But as you go south of the equator, there is an entirely different group of constellations that all rotate around a southern polar point clockwise. The reason why Professor Dave keeps grilling Witsit doesn't get it on the clockwise versus counterclockwise rotation is because your model cannot explain it. Your model has the stars like this.
Said, if I put a clock on the ceiling, right, which way, I'm asking you, which way can, you just said, if something is spinning one way and you look a different way, it'll spin another way. So I'm asking you, put a clock on the ceiling, which way can you face that'll make the hands appear to go counterclockwise?
You obviously don't comprehend what I'm saying, Dave.
I think you don't understand what I'm saying.
Do you agree that things will appear to drop due to perspective?
Why are you talking about perspective? I'm talking
because you don't understand it. So
you're trying to obfuscate.
No, I'm not. If the stars are above me on a plane and I look out, they're going to look like they're dropping down, which means I'm looking out at... You don't even understand basic stuff.
Look at this. Hang on. Where's the camera? Which way is this turning? Which way is this going? Which way is this going?
I don't know. Which way is it going?
Yeah, which way is it turning?
Who cares? Why are you obfuscating away from what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about exactly what I'm talking about. Is this going clockwise or counterclockwise? Come on, just give me the answer, buddy. You can see.
That is why Witsit doesn't get it, obfuscates with perspective, and you added the words to our model saying local stars appear to fall to the horizon due to perspectives as they move away from us. When in our model, they rise from and set into Earth, and in your model, they would have to be doing horizontal circles above the ground, and you cannot circle around a southern point like our model does. You are using our model saying that the stars get closer and farther from you while the stars are rotating around the observer at a fixed distance, rising from and setting into Earth. You cannot shit on our model, SIR David Weiss of the Order of Magoo. Say that nonsense while showing people your model. You won't, because it's so simple to see that your model is complete bullshit.
And I hereby induct you both into the Order of the Arc Knight.
There are only 3 models of reality, and you will not even show yours, and it is debunked thousands of different ways. Our model, with a stationary observer on a fixed plane and with the luminaries rotating around an observer at a fixed distance, rising from and setting into Earth, is accurate to 1/100th of a degree per second anywhere on Earth any day of the year. All we need now is the heliocentric model shills to show the universe to scale with all the different motions of everything they say exists, showing all paths, orbits, and rotations of everything they say there is to scale. Only then will we have the globe's prediction for the azimuth and altitude of the sun and any other luminary, because we are not going to let Glovers use our model either.